What's up, guys? Brandon here from Nerdlocker at San Diego Comic-Con, and I am here with Jock.
Hey.
For those of you that don't know, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you worked on, or what you have worked on?
In America, I guess most well known for doing a comic called The Losers with Andy Diggle that was made into a movie in 2010. Green Arrow Year One, Batman the Black Mirror with writer Scott Snyder and other artist Francesco Francavilla, and a bunch of covers for DC and Marvel and other good stuff.
Yeah. Now, going in, like you said, you've done Green Lantern, you've done Batman. Is there ever a lot of pressure to do these characters, or like just to make them your own?
I've been lucky. I mean, my style isn't necessarily a mainstream superhero style of artwork, and all the editors that I've worked with have never asked me to do anything different. You know, so I mean, comics is an amazing thing. You can. You know, some of the success you have comes from the fact that you draw a certain way, and I've been very lucky that I've never been asked to kind of stylistically change anything or kind of move around what I'm doing to fit in with an idea of how it should be. The only pressure really is to try and do the good work and do justice to these amazing characters.
Are there any characters that you haven't tackled yet that you're really looking forward to putting your own touch to?
I've sort of ticked quite a few boxes. I grew up reading Judge Dredd, and that was some of my first comic work. I'd love to do Batman, which I was lucky enough to do. Wolverine would be one that I've not drawn much of, but I'm just signed on to do 6 covers for Wolverine Max, so I'm going to get to itch that scratch. Yeah, so apart from that,
I heard you say Superman too. You don't draw too much Superman?
I don't draw too much Superman. No, it's funny actually. Growing up, Superman was like the DC superhero that I really liked, but he's actually really hard to draw. He's kind of super clean and super strong and it's just worked out that the way I draw, I enjoy using shadows and lots of blacks, and it's a bit more kind of gritty, and so it suits something like Batman much more. I have drawn Superman a couple of times, and I did some couple of little designs for the Superman Returns movie as well, which you sort of play to your strengths really, and I'd rather see like a Jim Lee Superman rather than my Superman. I don't know how other people feel, but yeah.
You've also done some prints. We had the Mondo one that was released yesterday, I believe, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And do you like, which is easier to tackle or harder to tackle, comics or prints? Like, is there a different preparation for each one?
Yeah, they're completely different actually, and in fact, the first thing I did for Mondo was for a 70s horror movie that's one of my favourite zombie movies called Zombie over here. It was called Zombie Flesh Eaters in the UK, and doing something for still screen prints is a completely different process, and also the final item that Mondo makes such beautiful prints that when I first got my comps sent over and I kind of opened it out, it was almost like, okay, this is a new chapter kind of thing, because I have to think about this differently. So with the Dark Knight Rises poster, we did it big. It's 24 by 36, and there's a lot of detail in it. Hopefully still having that impact and that design stuff that I love doing, but I want to make sure it kind of stands up to inspection. So it's just it's the same. Doing storytelling pages for comics or doing covers. It's just a completely different kind of muscle that you flex, and each of them has its own challenges.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Jock at San Diego Comic-Con. You're watching Nerdlocker, a place for your inner nerd.